we're moving forward with a 25% surcharge on electricity exports. For the 1.5 million American homes and businesses that Ontario powers, homes and businesses in Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. This surcharge will cost families and businesses in these states up to $400,000 each in every single day. On an average, this will add around $100 per month to the bills of hardworking Americans. Let me be clear. I will not hesitate to increase this charge. If necessary, if the United States escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. Believe me when I say I do not want to do this. I feel terrible for the American people because it's not the American people who started this trade war. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump.
Canada is putting a 25% surcharge on all electricity that they supply to New York, Michigan, and Minnesota. Doug Ford said today it goes into effect today. 25%. So people in New York, Michigan, and Minnesota can expect to see their electric go up. We are making America great again because as Americans, we love recessions. We love when the stock market tanks, and we love when billionaires get tons of money, and we love Elon Muskrat for all the government fraud he's found. Yes, they're about to let go of 80,000 veterans. Yes. Oh my God, this administration loves our veterans because they're firing them all. Yes, isn't this what everybody voted for? No, not really. Man, they are not. Is not playing, and America, we are in the fafo. We fafoed, we fafoed, we fafoed, we fafoed, and we're about to find out.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because we break down the biggest trending stories so you never miss out. Now, you just saw it for yourself. Doug Ford has made it official and Americans are already talking about the impact of this 25% tariff on United States electricity. So what's really going on here? As you know, Canada and the United States have had a complicated trade relationship, especially when it comes to energy. Canada supplies about 10% of the electricity used in the US, while states like New York, Michigan, and Minnesota rely heavily on it. But this new 25% tariff is going to make that power a lot more expensive. And guess who's going to feel it first? Yeah, regular Americans paying their electricity bills. Well, this is Canada responding to US trade policies. US has hit Canada exports with tariffs on everything from steel and aluminum to dairy. So now Canada is saying two can play the game. So let's take a look at how Americans are reacting to all this. Then we'll continue with this conversation.
Bad news for residents of New York, Michigan, and Minnesota, because Canada just put a 25% tariff on the electricity that's coming to your states. And it's going to affect an estimated, 1.5 million people? Is that right? Yes, 1.5 million homes and businesses. And this is going to add approximately $400,000 per day in increased energy costs for Americans in those three states. So, I mean, wow, this tariff war is really just going so wonderfully for the Americans, even though Trump had to backpedal on the tariffs that he was putting on Canada and Mexico, even though Mexico and Canada are still adding more tariffs to the United States. I mean, kicking us while we're down. Canada, keep going. Canada, why would you do that? Keep going, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Anyways, thank you, Canada, for showing Donald Trump that no one's afraid of his moldy, crusty orange ass. So, unfortunately, I feel bad for the people that voted for her in New York, Michigan, and Minnesota. But I mean, I feel really good about this.
Hey. So, the Prime Minister of Canada is standing on business. He said he was going to do it. He's going to do it. He does not care that Trump keep playing with these tariffs, keep talking about, okay, I'm going to drag it out until April 2nd or whatnot. He don't care about none of that shit. Today he said, you know what? 25% tariff on the electricity for 3 of the states in the United States. And those 3 states are Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. Bro, he ain't playing no games with us at all. He said he was going to do it, and he did. And he did, and I don't blame him. I do not blame him. Trump been losing his damn mind lately. Like, don't nobody got time to play. That's the reason why our stock markets are the way they are right now. If you guys been following the stock market, that shit is red. It's been red for like a week now. Like, shit ain't changing. So, I mean, he had to do what he had to do. And I ain't mad at that. Like, he told him. And now he's fucking around and finding out. Like, what's next? It's like the Twilight Zone out here. Like, man. The lights is on now, but shit. He might turn them light switches off too. He ain't playing. Trump better get it together, bro. Trump better get it together because we out here making enemies that we don't need.
Canada is not backing down to Donald Trump. Canada just on Monday is now charging 25% more for electricity on 1.5 million homes and businesses in response to Donald Trump's trade war. Ontario provides electricity to Minnesota, New York, and Michigan, major states. And they said that they will not hesitate to increase this charge. And they will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely, shut it down. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who we all know, said that his people cannot afford these skyrocketing electric bills. They cannot afford Donald Trump's billionaire economy. And that this has to stop. It's madness. What is Donald Trump trying to do? He is destroying the U.S. economy. He is not doing anything to help the American people. This is not helping the American people. We need to come together and do something about this. This is getting completely out of control.
It's official. Ontario is imposing a 25% tariff on electricity. Guess which states will be affected? New York, Minnesota, and Michigan. That's right. Doug Ford, who is tired of Trump's tariff threats, said regardless that Trump withdrew the tariffs until April 2nd, he's not going to wait until April 2nd. He is imposing those tariffs now, and those 3 states will begin paying higher electricity rates as of today. That's right. So congratulations, tariffs on those 3 states from Ontario. And no, Ontario is not going to pay those tariffs, much how MAGA loves to think that tariffs are on the other party.
So today, Premier Doug Ford from Ontario stated in a press conference that he is tired of Trump with the back and forth of the tariffs. Now you want to tariff steel and aluminum along with everything else. He said that he is going to push back and do exactly what he said because he's about his word. And he said that as of today, he is going to push the surcharge, of 25% on electricity. And that is going to affect Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. He stated that it's like a $400 million increase, but for individual families and businesses, they will see their electric bills go up by $100. He also said that he is not against raising that surcharge. He said until President Trump stops. He said it's going to hurt businesses and homes, but he's just not about these games. He's standing on business. And what I am so glad that I do not live in Michigan, Minnesota, or New York, because it's hard enough out here as it is. But that is what is being stated today, and that is what Ontario's premier, I want to say prime minister, Premier Doug Ford is saying. He's not backing down. He's not going to go with the Okay, we're going to push it back a month. Try there. He's not being reciprocal. He's standing about his word, and the surcharges start today. Oh, and he also said if Trump keep playing, he's going to cut the electricity off completely. So he does not want to hurt the American people. He knows how bad it's going to hurt, but he's not playing these games.
So let's really talk about what's happening here. As you know, Canada just hit the US with a 25% tariff on electricity exports. And honestly, this is not just a random decision. This is Canada making a move to protect itself. Now, let's take a step back. Why is this happening? Well, Doug Ford came out and announced this tariff, and it's not hard to see why. The US has been pushing trade policies that hurt Canada, and now Canada is saying, all right, you want to play hardball? We can too. But here's the thing, this isn't just about governments throwing tariffs at each other. This is going to hit real people. And states like New York, Michigan, and Minnesota depend on Canadian electricity. That's going to drive prices way up for American households. This whole situation is a mess, and Canada is standing its ground, and they are not about to let the US walk over them. But when these trade wars happen, it's always regular people who end up paying the price. Not the politicians, not the big corporations, just everyday people trying to pay their bills. Now, let me ask you this. If this keeps going, who's really going to break fast? Canada? The US? Or is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Because if history has taught us anything, is that these trade fights, they don't just stop at one tariff. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you subscribe because this story is far from over. So until next time, thank you for watching. Bye bye.